And we're back here on Community Comment. Our guests are with the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater and to talk about their new, very unique fundraiser. It is an art auction called Musical Chairs. They're auctioning off 15 chairs, well, 14 chairs and a bench over at 32auctions.com/BDACT, or you can go to bdact.org for more information. Ronnie Harper, David Sneeders, the managing director of the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. And we've been right now going through on the auction website each one of these chairs. You can see it along with us by going to the video tab at dailydodge.com. We've got this conversation posted, and not just audio as we traditionally do on the audio tab, but also under the video tab. And Ronnie, tell us what chair we're looking at in to start this segment out.
Sure. So as we mentioned before, we had 13 local or area artists, each volunteering their time and their own materials and their own kitchens or living rooms to paint these chairs. And this one is done by Mary Kolstad Miller, a local artist who has painted sets for 50 years at community theater. Sorry, Mary. And this is so well done. I just had to mention, this is another one that's got some 3D elements in it. So it looks very elegant. She saw that the chair has a lyre motif built into the back of the chair. It's a Duncan Fife, I can tell you that. And right now, David's got a picture of it showing the top of the back, the straight part. She painted a frieze, which if you're into architecture is the part that is across the top of a building. Only Mary painted this to look like it's carved, but it's really just intricate little painting. And it's based on humorous moments from our Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum production 2 years ago. So it's got, it's centered with a statue of the bust, the very funny bust, which Mary herself and her daughter created for that show, of the crabby wife. And then on either side of that are the courtesans and pseudolus, and then it's flanked by rubber chickens. Now, they're not rubber chickens if you're not looking online. It's they're not 3D rubber chickens. They are painted in this frieze, so you have to look close to see them. But rubber chickens featured prominently in the humor of the show.
Yet it
Very
still
funny.
looks elegant the way she painted it.
Yes, it really looks elegant. Yes. So Mary saw that there was this this lyre as part of the chair. And if it was me, I'd have just said, well, there's a lyre there. But no, Mary painted the lyre to look like it's carved in 3D. It's all painted with like gold leaf. So there's, and this chair seat is a bright red. So the chair colors are black and red and gold. And then she's got some wording subtly around the side that says something familiar, something peculiar, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. And then laurel wreaths are painted across the front. And then the little subtle 3D feature is, although the chair is otherwise quite elegant, she does call to mind that one of the themes of the chair is there are belly dancers. So she added lines of belly dancer costume coins, a fringe across the bottom of the seat edge and the back of the seat edge, or the back edge. So it's got 3D features as well as being just a gorgeous chair. And you can still get in on a decent price for under $100 on that chair. What haven't we covered yet? Oh, go to the Seussical Chair, David. The little red one down. There you go. So we have one chair, another chair that is definitely a child-sized chair. This one I picked up from a rummage sale, and it's a classic classroom chair, like the metal chair with a bent wooden seat. And it was already painted red when we got it. So Laura Congdon, who's an amazing local artist, painted this one to evoke Seussical the musical. And it's got the Cat in the Hat and Horton the elephant, as in Horton Hatches the Who.
Horton, here's a who.
Here's a who, right? Horton, here's
Yeah, we don't want to get that wrong.
You can hatch plenty of new thoughts on this chair, though, I would think.
you could, and it is so adorable.
Well, the things you could think.
Yes, and I will say another thing about the chairs. I mentioned you can use all of them for furniture. The artists all included, coats of a finishing protective coat on their over the top of their painting, so they should be pretty durable.
Wow.
Let's go to Laura's other chair. While we're on Laura's artistry, Laura is a professional artist who used to work for Nancy's Notions. If you were a fan of the Nancy's catalog, that would have been some of Laura's creativity. So Laura saw this bar stool and knew that it had to evoke Lombardi, our stage show. She's got a Wisconsin map kind of with a giant G on it. And then like sketch art showing Vince Lombardi. This evokes the 1961 NFC championship, I believe she said. And the quote from Vince saying, "Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing." And there's a really joyous Vince Lombardi, gap tooth and all, and a couple of players with him on their shoulders. So this one is getting some pretty good bids, but as I said, you can always hire. And it would make a great stool, or even really like a side table, or just an art piece and a conversation piece in your home. It's very sturdy and kind of heavy, very, very well made. Phil Miller put a new seat on this, so I think it was from actually like Draker's Village Square somewhere in town, bar stool, and was donated to the theater. So this is one that we had around and thought it could go to a higher purpose. And what higher purpose but to paint it like the Green Bay Packers?
Well, I can certainly see this in someone's basement bar, or if there's a restaurant in town. This is certainly a talking piece.
Yes, a restaurant.
If this were in a restaurant, this would be absolutely amazing. The artwork on this is second to none.
Yes. The artistry is it's sketched, but then covered over with varnish, some kind of varnish or acrylic. David, let me see, what other chairs have we not covered? And as we said before, you can go to 32, that's number 32, auctions.com/BDACT to see all these for yourself. Lion King is another one that was painted by a local artist. Chris Schumacher produced this chair. This chair has you could just feel the warmth of the savannah in Africa with this one. She's got the lion face of the lion motif from the Broadway show, and just the wording Lion King on a painted canvas upholstery that's very sturdy, yet comfy. And then the chair itself is painted orange with yellow, almost as if you're looking across the horizon on a hot day and you see the bands kind of in your vision, the ripples in the sunlight. So another chair and then there's a little tiny tree, like you're looking across the savannah just at the horizon. So a very classic, elegant chair done by Chris Schumacher.
And she's one of the art teachers in town and owns Art on the Town in downtown. So it's first class painted artwork.
Yes. David, if you can find the Little Mermaid chair, I think is one we haven't covered yet. Download.
We haven't done Little Shop
yet. Shop of Horrors. So right next to Rocky Horror Picture Show, we've got Little Shop of Horrors. And
you can get a 2-for.
Yes.
Get both scary chairs.
This chair is painted green. If you know Little Shop of Horrors, it's about an adorable little plant that grows up to be huge and eats people. So she's painted the wording somewhere that's green along a couple of the wooden surfaces, and then a city skyline, because the play takes place in New York City. Community Theater has done this show twice, I believe, also. And there's on the back of the chair, is Audrey, the plant. There's a little face of Audrey, and the wording of I can't remember his name.
Mushu's Flower Shop.
Mushi's, yeah, flower shop, and some little motifs of little plants, and by the way, blood running down along the sides around the Munchkie's flower shop or whatever. So this is definitely a piece of memorabilia if you're familiar with that show or movie. But as I said, community theater here has done it twice, and lots of area community theaters have done this show as well.
All right. This is all again at 32auctions.com. You have until 11 p.m. on February 6th to put your bid in for any one of these 15 chairs or 14 chairs at a bench, if you want to look at it that way, based on musicals, based on one of them's based on the Green Bay Packers. All the other 14, they'll have some type of nod to the world of music and or theater. And again, 32auctions.com/BDACT.org. David, as we get into the first few weeks of January 2021, hopefully we're starting to see things like the pandemic more in our rear view mirror. What is the sense around the community theater? Do you think you're going to have people back in the theater here yet this year?
Yeah, we actually have a committee that's working on reopening the building. We've been working with Mark Wagner, who works with the Department of Health and is also an actor at the theater here from time to time, grew up in town here. So we have a great asset there, just advising us as to what is safe for audience members, what is safe for cast members, because remember, they're in close quarters rehearsing for up to 2 months at a time. That's probably who we worry about the most. But we're looking at opening slowly, doing just a partially filled auditorium and having some acts coming in, if it's bands, comedians, where it's not us rehearsing together like that for a long period of time. So May 1st, I know we're looking at having some comedians. One of them is Dana Ehrman, who opened for Charlie Barron's a couple years ago when we had him here. So we're looking forward to a comedy night. I think a lot of people are looking forward to getting out and having a fun evening, but we're looking at some similar things like that. We're trying to decide now, we're keeping an eye on things as far as what we can do with the area high school production. Mark Lefebvre has a show that he has in mind, and it's, well, can we get an audience in the auditorium or should we do something virtual? So we're having those conversations, but a lot of the shows that were scheduled for last year, they're still scheduled for this year. It just got moved back a year. So Little Mermaid was the musical. That's the chair we're looking at online right now. That would be directed by Ryan Klug. So we're hoping we can go full on with the audience, full stage. Hopefully, actors don't have to worry about masks, things like that. There's also a bunch of events that were coming up last year when we closed down, which we'll have rescheduled probably in fall, like dueling pianos. We want to get that up and running as soon as possible. But, that was pretty well sold for tickets. So we have to wait until we can have people sitting right next to each other. Otherwise, we're planning on opening with like every other row empty and a couple seats in between people. Doing a safe opening. We're hoping for some shows in March, but the way things are looking, maybe that'll be pushed back. Like I said, we're scheduling a show for May 1st now, and we'll keep expanding from there. Hopefully things keep looking up.
Excellent. Very good. BDACT.org once again. And as you mentioned, that one chair that we didn't mention was the Little Mermaid. Good timing with the that's a main stage production. That's not one of the Telltale productions when you talk about Little Mermaid. That's one of the main stage productions that
that is a big Disney production, very popular show on Broadway, and we're excited to do it here.
So I imagine, Ronnie, when we're looking at these chairs, so many of them are tied into the fabric of the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. So many people have had experiences either at South Pacific or with Little Mermaid here, with so many of these other plays. I could see this being something that really starts to get some auction numbers flying here, not just by those who were in the audience for some of these, but by those that were maybe in some of these productions themselves.
Yeah, people have some fond memories. I just want to mention that last year, the Little Mermaid chair was painted by Kristen Harper Fontaine, and who happens to be my sister, and also grew up painting sets, under Jerry Camps. So I recruited her, and she is a latent artist. She's, works for the state right now, but so yeah, that was definitely a labor of love, because she lives in Evansville now, but so it's really area community theater has stretched out in order to do this auction. Yeah, we are hoping that we're tugging some heartstrings and some purse strings from people that fondly remember these shows, or even have done the show in other area community theaters. We don't discriminate. Fond du Lac, Columbus, Madison, whatever.
And
So
they're just spectacular chairs too. I know
oh
when Ronnie came to me with the idea, I thought, yeah, that'll be a cute fundraiser and something cute people could have in their homes. But when the chairs started coming in, I'm like, wow, these are some amazing pieces of work. I'd be afraid to sit on it, which we did hear that they are sit-uponable, which is the technical term.
yeah.
But yeah, the chairs are amazing. It'll definitely be a talking point in anyone's home.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm really, I do definitely encourage people to go online and look at the chairs, or come on down and peer through the window. We always invite gawkers through the window and see what.
It's usually just me inside, but now there's chairs to look at too.
Yeah,
So it's
the
good.
building is locked. We don't, there's occasionally some volunteers, one at a time, like volunteers who are doing some painting on the walls or something, but otherwise we don't have, because of COVID, we don't have the building open to the public, but you can see through the windows. Speaking of other things going on, and the websites, if you go to bdact.org, there are efforts that we've made to do some online things. And you can still access some videos of even the Halloween show, or some one-act plays that we experimented with in a reader's theater style. So it has that Brady Bunch look, as they all converse theoretically in the same drawing room, except they're each in their own living rooms. But we'd like to put together some more this spring if technical expertise is something that, if people out there, have never really seen themselves dancing and singing on a stage, we could definitely use some people that have some know-how on sound and video editing, because a couple members created a green screen area on our main stage, and it's still set up. So, when Saturday Night Live first came back, they were using some green screens in their own home and such, when they came back during COVID. So we have that available, but it does take effort for people to do it well. We want to do things well. So if someone has some technical expertise in the sound or video editing, give us a call.
Yeah.
Give David a call.
What is that phone number and the location, David, of the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater, if people wanted to stroll by that window and check out some of these chairs?
Sure. We're at 117 West Maple Avenue. That's 117 West Maple Avenue here in Beaver Dam. You can call us. It's 920-885-6891. And as we were saying throughout the show, all our information can be found on our webpage at bdact.org.
And Ronnie, the auction website?
The auction website is 32 auctions, which is 32 auctions.com/BDACT.
All right. And you can watch us walk through all of these chairs at the video tab at dailydodge.com, or listen to us anytime on the audio tab at Daily Dodge. We want to thank our guests very much for joining us on the program today. David Sneeder is the managing director of the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater, and Ronnie Harper is the chair of the Musical Chairs Committee, the fundraiser that runs through February 6th. Again, 32auctions.com. I want to thank you guys very much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is going to do it for today's community comment.